Welcome to night school where the shadows creep. Grab your popcorn, don't fall asleep. The doors are open, let the nightmares play. You won't make it out today. Welcome to night school! With your secrets in tow, creep paints your smile with the shame you won't show. He slashes with style, blood drips by the door. Glorious gore. This is what legends are for. With the click of his pen and a therapist sneer, he lists all your sins you didn't know were near. Smoke curls like truth in a midnight hymn. Las lecciones del smoking man, pecados que nos extinguen sin fin. He swears he's not a horror fan, yet he still made the grade. He keeps trying to transfer, but his paperwork's been delayed. Are you scared yet?
Oh, yes, indeed. I am scared. I am petrified. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Night School Horror. Yes, we're back. And this time we're not talking has-been hotel, okay? We're taking a quick break, but don't worry. We will eventually get back into it. And, of course, Mr. A-Town will be back because he finally watched the entire season 2. So he's technically caught up. So very excited for that. But no. Today we are going to be talking Evil Dead. We're going to be discussing the franchise and we're going to rank these movies except Evil Dead Burn. I am the only one in the class that has actually seen Evil Dead Burn. Everybody else will be seeing it this week. And then our next episode will be a full-on review of Evil Dead Burn. But I'm not here alone, everybody. I am with Florida's favorite creep, the Evil Dead mistress herself, Sabrina. Ace, Sabrina, you are here. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I am fantastic, actually, because I love Evil Dead, and I'm so glad that we're reviewing these movies, at least ranking them. I am excited to see Evil Dead Burn sometime this week. We'll see if that excitement changes after I see it and how it changes, but I'm excited nonetheless because, again, Evil Dead has kind of shaped who I am as a person in horror, where it's a little bit of creep and a little bit of crazy.
Yeah, sure.
And a whole lot of weird. And
a whole lot of weird. You put it together and you get a piece and you get Florida's favorite creep.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you this, Sabrina. Evil Dead is my all-time favorite horror franchise. I love everything about Evil Dead. I love the movies. I love the television show. I've never read the comics because I'm not a big reader. And
I do have a couple. I will just say this, that if you ever want to read them, I love them so much. It's Ash versus Marvel Zombies.
I've heard about that one.
I do have those.
That's a big one. And the one major one, and we'll discuss this more towards the end of the episode, but just to throw it out there, I've never seen the musical.
I fucking love the musical.
You've seen the musical, so
I've seen it twice.
Yes, I've seen the musical twice, so we'll talk more about those towards the end of the episode. But yeah, so let me ask you a question before we get into this. A little bit of backstory on you when it comes to the Evil Dead franchise in general. What was the first thing that brought you to it? What was the first movie out of all of them that you've seen? And then maybe had to trace back or just maybe from there just kept going?
What a fantastic question, Tommy, because I never get to tell this story. There's never been context for me to tell this story. But shout out to Philip in fucking middle school.
Oh, middle
Won't say
school
last
Philip.
name, but Philip from middle school. You know who you are. You probably don't listen, but if you do, shout out to you for going, "You're really weird." And I go, "Yeah, you're right. Thank you. My mom taught me being weird isn't a bad thing." And he goes, "Right. So I think you should watch this movie." And I go, "All right, sure. Hit me with it." And he looks at me and he goes, "You probably don't like horror, though." And I'm like, "Ooh, Philip doesn't fucking know me."
Ooh,
Philip doesn't fucking know what my mom did to me one summer. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in a new school." Philip asks me, "You should see this movie." I'm like, "Absolutely, sure." And he goes, "It's Bruce Campbell." I'm like, "Who the fuck is Bruce Campbell?" Like, I'm in middle school. Who the fuck is
Right. Who's Bruce Campbell? Yeah.
And he goes, "Bruce Campbell is God." And I'm like, "We're living right now with Chuck Norris jokes. What do you mean Bruce Campbell is God?"
Good point.
And he goes, "No, it's fine. Just watch this movie. It's called Evil Dead." And I go, "Okay, cool." I go home and I'm looking on the computer going, all I'm seeing is like The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. I don't understand. So I watched The Evil Dead and I went, all right. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sure. I get it. And I go back and I go, "Man, that was interesting." And he goes, "Interesting? That's not the reaction I was expecting." And I go, "Okay, well, what were you expecting?" And he goes, "Which one did you watch?" And I go, "Oh shit, that matters."
Yeah, that's a good factor. Yeah.
So Philip failed to tell me that Evil Dead, The Evil Dead, and Evil Dead 2, basically the same, but one is better.
Yes.
So I went back that weekend and I watched Evil Dead 2. Blew my mind, bro.
Oh
Blew
my
my
God.
mind.
Oh my
Philip
God.
had no idea that I was like, you, me, best friends now. And then he moved. And we kept in touch maybe like for a couple years, just online, AOL. And then that was it. Philip's just gone forever.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, well, Philip also helped mold me into who I was, not just by my age.
Damn, Philip.
But to have me, watch Evil Dead and to watch Evil Dead, The Evil Dead, and then Evil Dead 2, I'm like, now we're in this. I watched Army of Darkness the following weekend, did my little deep dive into it. Bruce Campbell is God. Sorry, Chuck Norris. Bruce Campbell is God.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley Williams has my heart. And Army of Darkness just kind of gave me this image of like, I want to be a hot deadite babe
Sure.
and bag me a Bruce Campbell.
That's a good idea. And cut your head off.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that how everybody wants to go? That's how I want to go.
I don't know if I want to go that route.
I do.
But I can respect that. I can respect that. So the first movie you've ever seen from the franchise is The Evil Dead.
Yes, sir.
1981's The Evil Dead. Very interesting. Actually, funny enough, that is not the first film I seen. Introduction to this franchise, which is funny because you said you went on the computer to go watch this movie. I did not. A
little bit of an age difference, but we're
There's
not
a little
gonna
bit
talk
of an
about
age
that.
difference here. Not a huge one, but a little bit.
Yeah.
The thing is I went to Blockbuster, good old Blockbuster, and I was walking around and I went into the horror section. And as I was walking around the horror section, I was looking for a horror movie to watch. And honestly, I've seen so many, I had no interest in all the ones that were there. And a lot of them were like that B-rated shit. At that point, age that I'm at, I wasn't really B-rated. I was like, I'm going to watch a B-rated shit. So I moved on to more of like the fantasy side of things. Maybe I'll watch, The Dark Crystal or Labyrinth or maybe Neverending Story. And I came across a movie called The Army of Darkness. And I looked and said, what is this? And I was with my mom and my mom's like, you don't want to watch that. And I was like, no, I kind of do. And she goes, no, I don't think you should watch that. And I'm like, no, I think I'm gonna get this because I want to watch it. It looks weird. It has some skeletons. It got knights and stuff. I love that stuff. My mom has no clue what this stuff is about anyway. So I get the movie. I watch the movie, and my mom's like, "What'd you think of the movie?" I was like, "I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. And there's monsters in this movie, and then the skeletons and the little like Gulliver's Travelers things happening here, and little ashes are happening, and then the hot chick's there, and then she turns into this real scary monster, but she turns back into the hot girl, and I'm not really sure what's going on." And and then my aunt, she used to actually watch me when my parents were out, and I'm talking to her about the movie, and I'm like, "I watched this really weird movie," and so on and so forth. And she goes, "What's it called?" And I go, "Army of Darkness." And I hear my uncle in the background. He goes, "You watched Army of Darkness?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what is?" And he walks in. He goes, "All right, that's the first time have you seen the other ones?" And I'm like, "There's more Army of Darknesses?" And he goes, No. He's like, "It's not called." Okay, hold on a second. Goes into his room and he comes out with 2 VHS tapes, and that's The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And he goes, I want you to watch these movies. My aunt's yelling at him. He can't watch those. He's going to get scared. He can't watch those movies. And I keep saying, I'm like, well, it's Army of Darkness. That didn't scare me. Like, I was perfectly fine. She goes, no, these aren't Army of Darkness. She goes, this is a little bit more grim. I don't think you should watch this, Tom. So she goes out with her boyfriend. This is very important. She goes out with her boyfriend. So now I'm in the house with my uncle. My parents.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Is uncle aware of boyfriend?
Yes. That's uncle's friend.
Oh.
So
Like,
it was okay. They were buddies. So, but my uncle he didn't give two shits at that point. So my parents are away. They're in Atlantic City. So they're not coming back to pick me up. So my uncle goes, okay, well, since your mother and your father are not coming back and your aunt is now out for the night, you want to watch it? Yes. Yes, I would like to watch it. And he goes, okay, I'm going to give you a warning. You start crying. I'm turning it off whenever we're talking about it or watching it again. If you have nightmares, don't come walking into my room. You know where you're sleeping. Okay, got it. And he puts on The Evil Dead. And it scared the ever-living shit out of me. I said, oh my God, what the hell am I watching? It scared the crap out of me. Then he put on Evil Dead 2. It scared me even more. I was so scared. But then that was the first time I truly understood a connection, because at the end of Evil Dead 2, I was like, oh, wait, that's the beginning of Army of Darkness. And he goes, yes, exactly. I was like, wait, so Army of Darkness is the third film? And he goes, yes. And he goes, so it's time to go to bed. And I went, no, it's not. It's not time to go to bed yet. Can I watch another movie? He goes, no, Tom, it's time to go to bed. And all I kept hearing while I was sleeping was, I'll swallow your soul, swallow your soul. And yeah, I was scared shit, but
swallow your soul.
Oh my God. I love these movies. And I can thank him for that, and thank my mom for renting Army of Darkness when we were at Blockbuster. I was not allowed to talk about that. Yeah, right. It is a true
uncle, sir.
True
I
uncle.
love that so much. Where he's just like, well, your parents are out. You want to watch it?
The person that said no is no longer here. Keep in mind, while we were in Army of Dark, in Evil Dead 2 is when she came home. And she goes, she's like, what the hell? What are you doing? And he's like, I wanted to watch it. And he's like, she's not supposed to watch that. And this is the best part is my aunt and uncle are my dad's brother and sister. So if I go home and I'm scared and there's a reason why, and I explain what happened, my dad's not going to be too happy. So I had to make a promise that I wouldn't say anything, which I never did. But yeah, I had nightmares, a lot of nightmares. But I'm glad that I did, because I watched him again as I got older and I ended up loving him so much.
Would you say that was the turning point for you in horror? Because I remember you telling us previous stories about you being scared of everything.
I was.
When you were a kid?
I was a bitch.
Was this the turning point for you where you're like, no, I can get into this?
I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, that's a really good question, actually, where like
You don't have to tell me now. I'm just trying to make a connection every time you tell me about certain movies when you were a kid. And I'm like, one day I'm going to find that little connection for you. I'm going to find the turning point.
I was a wimp. When it came to, everything just scared the crap out of me. Like I've mentioned before, like it was a Mickey VHS tape, Halloween Mickey, and the pumpkin did a jump scare, and I cried. I was like, oh, what the hell? I guess that was my first like introduction to a jump scare as a kid.
Remember your DuckTales story from the Halloween episode?
That's the Halloween. That's the one where,
okay.
because it's Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Donald's in that one, and the pumpkin pops up and goes boo, and it scared the shit out of me. Scared the crap out of me. Such a little bitch. But yeah, in the long run, I don't know what movie really. Jaws was always one of my favorite movies of all time. Even as a kid, I wasn't afraid of Jaws though. I really loved sharks. So to me, I was like, wow, this is awesome. I don't know what made me do the full crossover. Or I was like, you know what, I can really get into this, and I'm invested into these movies, and I want to continue. One day it's going to hit you. Eventually, we'll talk about something, and I'm going to be like, that's the movie. That's where it happened. It was at that moment where I said, yup, I'm invested, and I'm ready to continue down this horror route. Because again, bitch, and I was scared of everything. Never ending story. Scared the shit out of me. Scared the shit out of me. That wolf is scary.
I cried over the Dark Crystal. I'll just say that.
The Skeksis scared the shit out of me, though. They were scary. Like, look at the way that petrified me as a child. Okay, I was
like 3 and I was not about it.
They did not look. You know what? One day, actually, we should have an episode where it's like the non-horror movies that scared you as a child. Because
that's perfect.
Because I got a shit ton in my pocket that's gonna make you laugh your ass off of all the shit that scared me when I was a kid. But
we'll figure that out.
We'll set that up as an episode. But let's go back. Let's get into the Evil Dead, okay? Because we love ourselves some Deadites. You want to become a Deadite and have Bruce Campbell do some naughty things to you. I would bang a Deadite if I could, depending on which one it is. Some of them are too ugly for me. But
depends
now
on how they start.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Question, since you brought it up. You're with this really hot chick.
Hot chick.
And you're mid-motion. You're
I'm in?
You're in mid-motion.
So you're saying I'm in.
Yes.
I'm penetrated.
And then
oh my God.
You blink, Deadite face.
Whoa.
Are you continuing?
I think at that point you're going to die anyway. You might as well keep going. Take at least a couple of more thrusts just to keep going for a bit, and then you're pretty much done from there. Like, you're not making it out.
You're double done.
You got to at least go to pop, and then just maybe come out and just get ready to fight. You know, like you got pop. You got to get a good hit in there real quick, because you got to make them understand the situation too. Like, yeah, I'm a freak too, motherfucker, but I'm gonna kill you now. So
listen, at that point, just flip her over.
But then her head will spin.
Then it makes for an interesting time.
We're gonna get you.
When she says, suck your soul.
That's the point, right? No,
it?
that's what she's going to turn around and her head will spin. I'll swallow your soul. And I'll be like, well, then I gotta get out and you got to finish from there. That, honestly, you know what? She told me, as long as it doesn't look like Henrietta, you know, then we're good. You know, if it doesn't turn into what Henrietta turns into with the kind of like the Thing kind of monster, where it's all like that's not attractive. But if it's anybody else, like if it's Lucy Lawless, you know, we'll talk about that. But oh my, yeah, fuck yeah, swallow your soul, absolutely, no problem.
You just say yes, ma'am. You got it.
You got it, Xena. I'm all down for this. This is great. But yeah, that's a really good question, actually. And an interesting picture and the paint on this one. So
I'm imagining it in like a comic. Naturally,
that would be hilarious. Actually, I would love to see.
Here's an actual comedic comic of Deadites. Here you go.
I am for that. Actually, somebody needs to write it.
I mean, I'll write it. I just need somebody to draw it.
Somebody's gonna have to draw it too. That's the other thing. It's an Evil Dead therapy session. That's how it ends.
Listen, if somebody wants to draw things for me, I've got a fuck ton of messed up stories in this brain.
We have ideas.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's some ideas that'd be great on paper. So now let's go ahead. Let's do this ranking. Again, like I mentioned, we are not going to talk Evil Dead Burn, so it wouldn't be on your list anyway. It would be on mine. So it's only going to be 5 films. Okay?
Yes.
Those 5 films are The Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, the 2013, at first we thought it was a reboot reimagining. Turns out it's actually part of the whole entire franchise and actual story. So the 2013 Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise. So Sabrina, we will start with you. Give me your number 5.
My number 5. My number 5 was The Evil Dead.
Really?
Like 5 being the
bottom. We're going 5 to 1. So number 1 will be your favorite. Number 5 will be your least favorite out of the current bunch until you see Burn. That may change. That may change.
I did have to think about this quite a lot. But when I was thinking about my personal ranking, I'm like, I would have to put The Evil Dead.
Okay, honestly. Putting Evil Dead at number 5. Now, why don't you go explain yourself? Why?
As great as it was for like a first hit, I feel like it only got better. It's the first time where I saw a movie that I was like, yeah, this is great. And then the minute you see Evil Dead 2, you're like, I feel like this should be the first one.
Sure.
Like Evil Dead 2 should be just the first movie in the franchise. And the more I watched, it kind of just pushed Evil Dead or the Evil Dead down further.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's just up against heavy hitters.
Sure.
That kind of just dropped it for me. And again, I'll still watch it.
Yeah.
100% anytime somebody puts it on. I'm sitting down. I got my popcorn. I'm ready to go.
Absolutely.
So putting it in 5 doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
Just in my ranking is not the strongest.
That's a good way to put it. We should put it out there too. Just because it's low does not necessarily mean the movie's bad. It's just going against a lot of heavy hitters to where that's where it ends up. There's not 20 movies in this franchise. We're only dealing with technically 6, but 5 in this case.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. And I agree with you too. Like with Evil Dead 2, technically they had to retell the story. For Evil Dead 2, because I don't know if you know this, but it's mainly because of the rights to the Evil Dead. That's why of all of these movies, it no longer has the in the title. So they can't use the. That's a studio issue. So literally
basically reimagining it.
He had to tell the story differently
to separate it from the rights that it had.
Correct.
So they can actually carry on with the rest of the franchise.
And what makes it interesting too is because in Evil Dead 2, so in the Evil Dead, it's him and his sister, girlfriend. There's a decent amount of them at the cabin. There's technically 5 at the cabin.
Yes.
In Evil Dead 2, there's only 2 at the cabin. It's him and Linda. It's him and his girlfriend. But if you remember, in Ash versus Evil Dead, he mentions that it was him and his friends went to the cabin.
Him and his friends. And
his sister, too, because Cheryl's there as well.
I was going to say Cheryl.
Cheryl's
unfortunately.
there. Yes. So that's when they were able to get the rights back, in a sense, to tell the story. But again, it still no longer says the Evil Dead. So they can't use the, hence why we got to Evil Dead 2, not the Evil Dead 2.
Right.
Which, I mean, the Evil Dead 2 also sounds stupid. So, but it was a right situation. So, okay. So you're going with the Evil Dead at your number 5.
See.
Okay. I'm going to go with Evil Dead Rise as my number 5.
That's fair.
And here's the thing. When I seen it in theater, I walked out of the theater and I was like pumped. I was like, this shit was dope. Like, it was great. Alyssa Sutherland was phenomenal as the mother. The gore was there. We had some campy lines, not too campy. Again, this is a different side of Evil Dead, but it made you feel good because you got an Evil Dead movie and it was fucking bloody as shit. I think this actually was the movie that broke the record for most blood used, because of the elevator scene, especially.
Yep.
But
until what? This year?
Was it broken this year?
I think so.
Was it broken by? I don't know if it was broken by Evil Dead Burn though.
No.
I
think it was broken by Iron Lung, but I can't.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll have to double check because I know Evil Dead Rise did end up taking that spot. And again, this movie I thought was fine. It introduces us to a third Necronomicon. They utilize it in the sense of the record player, the vinyl, and I like the way that Alyssa Sutherland looks. I think she's kind of sexy as the
creepy as hell.
Yeah, absolutely. But the way that she did it just worked really well. Now, here's my issue. I have a couple of issues. I've watched the movie like 4 or 5 times now, and I realized that it was theater hype, and it's been a long time since I've seen Evil Dead. Like the last time was 2013. Evil Dead Rise came out in 2023. So we're talking 10 years later. It's been a while. So I'm already on the hype train. I'm hyped up for Evil Dead. It's almost like what happened with Star Wars. You know, Star Wars was gone for a minute, and then they came out with The Phantom Menace. You're like, this movie's great. Then you watch it again, you're like, this really isn't that good. But I like Darth Maul. And that's like kind of how I felt like as I was doing my rewatches too. And I recently did a whole entire binge. And I'm like, it's not as good as it was when I first seen it. There's some great moments here. The mother is a phenomenal Deadite. I didn't really like the kids. I didn't think they were that great. And Beth is fine in the movie. She's fine as an antagonist. Well, she's a protagonist. The protagonist. But to me, it was just, I guess I wanted to see more. I was waiting for Mia to show up. That was probably another thing. Sitting there waiting for, Mia from Evil Dead 2013 to probably pop up there, but she does not. And I feel like this movie, I don't think it's bad. I would definitely not say the movie's bad. I just don't think it is as great as it was when I first walked out of the theater. And I think that was just because I was just really pumped for an Evil Dead movie. But I will say,
it makes sense. Waiting 10 years for an Evil Dead.
It's a long time.
Criminal.
It's a long time. But I will say though, this has the best title screen. Hands down, best title screen. I love the title screen. And also, the only thing that's also missing from this movie, because this was directed by Lee Cronin.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to say Lee Cronin's Evil Dead Rise, as we know, because he did Lee Cronin's The Mummy. He has to make sure to let you know, like, hey, by the way, I did this movie. So it doesn't say Lee Cronin's Evil Dead Rise. Should have said that, though.
It should have. I will say that, because I feel like when it comes to Lee Cronin, when it's, his version of something, it's very specific and not very specific to the source material it comes from, even though there's a lot of reference.
Yeah, well, even if you watch The Mummy, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, you might as well just be an Evil Dead movie at this point, or in my opinion, it's an Exorcist movie. But yeah, so I'm going to go number 5 is going to be Evil Dead Rise. So what do you got for number 4?
I can respect that. Number 4 is Evil Dead Rise for me.
Okay, all right, let's hear it. Why?
I enjoyed pieces of it. And again, just because it's number 4 on my list doesn't mean that I didn't like it. I liked it more than The Evil Dead just because, again, it's campy. It has a little bit more gore. It had a lot more creep factor for me, which, me, that's high up on my list. It needs to really make me feel uncomfortable in certain ways that makes me go, oh, I'm squirming in my seat. That makes me happy.
Sure.
So Evil Dead Rise, I really liked the makeup and the space that they used for it, especially when you see the mom in like the peephole of the door staring at her kids. It's such a creep factor when you hear her running up and down the hall and they're like panicking about like what's going to happen, or you see her come at the knife like towards her children. It's one of those moments where I'm like, ooh, I'm so uncomfortable by this. And the fact that it's in a high-rise like apartment building, I'm like, there's no fucking getting out of this. Like, there's no way to contain the Deadites. So it felt like such a big threat to me that I'm like, this is fantastic. And hearing you talk about the movie theater hype kind of is getting my gears turning of like, maybe I need to go back and watch this so I can get like a truly honest, like, how do I feel about it as a movie since I haven't seen it in a while? Mm-hmm. But from where I stand right now, it's number 4 for me because I'm like, it elevated itself from The Evil Dead for me. So if The Evil Dead is the basis for me of like, yeah, it's great, that's where it is ground level, Evil Dead Rise is like right there, like right above it, just to be like, it's a little creepier for me. It gives me everything that I need without it being overpowering or too much,
Sure.
So I gave Evil Dead Rise solid 4.
Solid 4. When was the last time you seen Evil Dead Rise?
2 years ago.
Yeah, you got to do a rewatch.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I remember watching it in theaters and then I watched it again with Mama Ace. So I feel like I definitely need to do a rewatch.
Yeah, I would say definitely give yourself a rewatch for Evil Dead Rise. You may feel the same. You may feel a little different. Depends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what did you think of the ending though?
The ending kind of pissed me off.
Okay.
Like that's kind of where it drops on the list for me. Is the ending just felt like no stakes.
No stakes.
Like it's just kind of over. even though I feel like there should be way more stakes in it because of the circumstances that happen and the fact that it's now not contained anywhere.
Well, yeah, in that sense, because the way it ended was that it ends up going in that girl Jessica that we see from the first part of the movie. But I also feel like we already, because we saw that in the beginning, you're just like, oh, that's where it's going to go.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Like there's no mystery. There's no, again, it feels like there's no stakes to me. There's stakes for everybody else, but for me to be like, okay.
Yeah, sure. I can understand that. That
over.
Makes perfect sense. That it is one of those where it does feel that way. And I feel that now, all right, here's a question for you. As somebody that you have watched all these movies, do you believe that this movie stays consistent with the lore, which is Evil Dead, what it gives to us? Does it make sense? Does it belong in this franchise?
Yes.
Okay, so you believe it does belong in the franchise. Makes sense. If I
feel
slap
it
a
does
different name
belong.
on it, it's not going to be like, oh, yeah, that could still work.
Yeah. I feel like it definitely belongs here. It is a more modern version of it.
Yeah.
But as, these things adapt, as the Necronomicon adapts, I still feel like it fits in the franchise.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. I agree with you. I also believe that it is consistent enough to work. And, we have the Necronomicon, like I said, on the vinyl, but there is a book. Mm-hmm. There is still a book, so we know that much. It's the third book out of the 3 books that are in Army of Darkness. Yes. So this one is they're a little more mean on this one, plus a little bit more different demons. Which I do
like the different demons.
Yeah, I like the different Deadites. And as it continues on, some of the Deadites they don't change as much. Really, they're pretty much on the same level. But again, you got the campy version of them, and then you got the hardcore version of them. So there's 2 different.
The swallow your soul versus I'm going to tear out your guts from your asshole and slip them like spaghetti.
Right. Way different. Way different.
Yes.
So my number 4 is The Evil Dead.
Fair.
Yeah. So we're just flippity flop on that one because again, The Evil Dead, I again did a rewatch of it again. It's a fun time, it's a fun movie. It's now obviously it's not as scary as it was when I was little.
You change as the Necronomicon changes.
I adapt to the Necronomicon. And I feel like this movie was just a real fun time. The way that the Deadites look, I think it's hilarious because it hasn't really picked it up yet. Where like they didn't get the money yet, where the makeup's going to really start playing a factor. It's mostly just some blues and pinks, and then the white eyes, of course. I love the whole
classic, like 80s horror.
Yeah, perfect 80s type of horror. You got to think this movie came out in 81, so it was probably shot like 79. 1980, like early 1980, because it's not like nowadays where they could just like pop on a computer and handle shit. Like they were actually sitting there going through everything and to process to create this movie. So it was definitely shot in like, it had to be like 1970s. Yeah, late least. 70s, and then hitting the end and the beginning of 1980.
All of the editing and stuff was completed in 1980.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. And it was ready for a release in 1981. But I love the whole, we're gonna get you, not another peep. Like, love that. That's hilarious. The whole Ring Around the Rosie kind of like vibe that it gives. So creepy, so weird. And Ash is just so lost. Like, what the hell is going on here? And at this point, he's not badass Ash. He's not badass at this point.
He's not a god yet.
No, he's not the god that we know. We're not hailing the king yet because at this point he's
poor Ashley Williams.
Poor Ashley Williams, just confused as hell and
little S-Mart retail employee. Ash.
Yep, watching all his buddies, his friends, his sister, and his girlfriend all just turn. Trying to follow the steps of the book to figure out what's the best way to stop this from happening. And then the end is where the the demon actually goes into him.
Mhm.
And then the movie ends. So, yeah, I would put The Evil Dead over Evil Dead Rise, and it's mainly that fact of nostalgia of what this started it all. And though it was weird and creepy, we got so much better as it went on. So, nostalgic factor, I'm going to have to give it number 4 for The Evil Dead.
Completely understandable.
All right, what do you got
Strong
for
in the
number 3?
nostalgia. Number 3, I have Evil Dead 2013.
Okay, all right.
So, predating Evil Dead Rise, this was, to me, a retelling, and I know it's supposed to kind of be like a continuation, not exactly a direct sequel, but kind of like a continuation of the franchise.
It's another story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is happening almost into the future of what this could be, but it's the same setup, the same group of friends-ish. It's still supposed to be the same characters.
This one took place, so the other one took place in Michigan,
Mhm.
that cabin. This cabin's in Tennessee.
Mhm.
So, and it's a different book. It's
Yes.
not the Necronomicon. This is a different book.
Yes. So seeing the same thing just modernized and retold, it still feels like it's a different movie, but still within the franchise.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it doesn't have to be a one-to-one. It's not a true retelling, but to me it was a retelling of something that was already great.
Okay.
So the fact that it was a different set of friends, a different cabin, a different book, and sort of different deadites because they're just fucking creepy as hell. With a little bit of camp, still a little bit of camp in there.
Mm-hmm.
That creep factor elevated it so hard for me.
Yeah.
That seeing, The Evil Dead and then Evil Dead 2013, it skyrocketed the creep factor in my heart where I'm like, this just turned it into not campy horror, not nostalgic campy fun horror. This is now just horror. Like, trigger warning if y'all need it. The tree rape scene was so graphic
It was.
that I had to close my eyes for 2 seconds because I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. This is not what I have known before.
Mhm.
So the fact that it elevated everything to be like, hey, this is Evil Dead, but this is Evil Dead,
Mm-hmm.
truly gave me a sense of like, we're going somewhere with this. It's not just, the fun thing that I love. It's now the creepy fun thing that I love.
Yes.
So solid number 3 for me.
It's fair.
Giving me the things that I needed.
That's very fair. Very fair. What is your favorite, since it's like we're bringing back the corner for a second. What's going in the corner? If you had to choose, what's going to go in the corner?
So it's really hard because most of them are really creepy in this movie, and it's
Mhm.
hard to pick just like one scene that really gets you.
Yeah.
But the one scene that stuck with me the most that I would throw in the creep corner is I'm forgetting her name. She was the friend's girlfriend,
Natalie,
Natalie.
the blonde one.
Natalie eating glass in the bathroom.
Oh no, that's Olivia.
Olivia.
That's Olivia. Oh, I love that
Olivia
scene.
eating glass in the
Oh.
bathroom, and she turns and you see her face like half open. She's just like crunching on it like it's ice. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Because if that
Yes.
were me, I'd be leaving my friends there. I don't give a fuck what they are.
Me too.
So Olivia would go in my creep corner.
Yes,
specifically.
yes. Yeah, Olivia was she wasn't the girlfriend is Natalie. She's just one of the friends.
Okay.
And then there's Eric, that's the one with the glasses, and David's the brother. And obviously
Gotcha.
Mia is Jane
The
Levy.
sister.
Yeah, Jane Levy
Yeah.
was by the way, she was phenomenal in that movie.
I do love her in the basement where her head's just kind of sitting there and she's staring at him. She's like gurgling.
Yes.
And you just see the piercing eyes like staring at him while he's on the couch, like freaking out. That one's like a close creep corner, but specifically
Great one.
Olivia in the glass.
That's
like,
phenomenal.
Hearing the crunch
Oof.
and then seeing her just slow turn, I'm like, ooh, I don't like you.
Yeah, I
You're
honestly
coming home
love
with
that.
me. I don't like you.
I love that scene. That's a perfect scene. You know what? That is a perfect scene to put in the corner. I'll even play a little bit of it too, because we got a little, put it in the corner. I think that's so fair. We got a little updated version of Creep Corner here.
I love it.
I agree. That is a perfect
Olivia.
place to put it in the corner. And I feel this would be wrong to not do this, but that scene also has some glorious gore.
Glorious, and they won't survive.
We haven't heard it in so long.
Because of glorious. I won't survive. I won't survive.
That's right. There it is. We haven't heard those in so long. Don't worry, everybody. If you missed them as much as we did, it's coming back because, like I said, we're going to be doing Evil Dead Burn. When we do reviews, you're getting those. So we had to
I feel
make
like
sure.
those two things specifically, you can't have an Evil Dead movie without it.
No, you can't. No.
Without creep and gore.
You need creep. You need the gore. And then after
The horror
you're done.
twins.
Yeah, no, it works perfectly because then after you're done with that, you need to have a seat because it's going to be time for a therapy session. Oh, it's a new one. We got a new therapy session
Ooh.
theme. Yeah.
I think you
All right.
do need some movie therapy after our whole I'd bang a deadite conversation.
Yeah, no, that's
Some people might need it.
always need therapy, and that's why I am your favorite movie therapist, of course. But yeah, no, so amazing. I got to tell you, I really love the 2013 version, and it's a phenomenal pick. So you're putting that at number 3.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'll go with my number 3. My number 3 is Army of Darkness.
Ooh.
Yes, I love this movie. It was really great when me, Jen, and Christian were watching these movies because we, after we get to past 2, and Christian's like, that was really good. I was like, I know, right? It's fucking awesome. And Jen's like, yeah, that was really good. I was like, okay, next is Army of Darkness. And they're like, oh, okay. What? Why is it not called Evil Dead? And I'm like, there's way more shit involved with that. I'm not even going to break it down to you.
They have to sit down and watch. That's why.
I'm like, but you have to watch this movie. And Christian's like, well, is it like really, scary or gory and all this shit? I was like, it is one of the silliest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. But because now that you've seen 1 and you definitely have seen 2, I think you'll like it. And we popped it on and we watched it, and Jen's face was just confusion all over. She was just like, what in God's name is happening? Christian liked it. At the end of it, he was like, that was really funny. I was like, I know, right? I was like, it's fucking stupid. Like, but it works. It's so good. This is where you get Ash. This is Ash. Okay, we're getting the punchlines. We're getting hail to the
God-tier
king. This is
Ash.
when he's the god at this moment.
Yes.
And it's so weird because, like I said, watching a movie like this, especially knowing where it comes from and watching it in order, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It is out of fucking nowhere. But what's insane is this was the original plan. This wasn't like they thought about it. Hey, I have an idea. No, this was planned. Raimi, Campbell, and what's his face? I always forget freaking what's his face? Tapper. Robert Tappert. Tappert. There we go. Robert Tappert. This was planned. Not only does it end Evil Dead 2 that way, but this was like the whole time. This was the plan. This was supposed to be Evil Dead 2 original. This was supposed to be, and the studio was like, absolutely not. They were like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We're not doing that. We're not funding that. So what did Sam Raimi? What did Bruce Campbell? What did Robert Tappert do? They made a different one. Said, we're going to make more money for this, and then we're going to create Army of Darkness. Holy shit, is this movie wild and crazy. We get little Gulliver's Travel situation with Ash, with his little Ashies. Then one of them turns into, we get a little evil Ash going on there. Well, I think maybe the other one's more evil Ash, but that's Deadite Ash. But let's say like little evil, we got big evil Ash, and then he turns into like this weird. That's the thing though, like they're Deadites, but they're not really Deadites. Like it's really strange.
It's again how it's like they're ever adapting as far as the Necronomicons adapt.
Yeah.
So it's like they are Deadites, but it's a different form. That's just like, how do you categorize them? You can't, but they're Deadites.
It's just insane. This movie's nuts as hell. It's hilarious as hell. Very slapstick comedy going on there. A lot of balls, hitting. This is where we get a lot of hits to the balls. Again,
As one does.
They really jumped into that campiness, which truthfully is where Evil Dead feels. It really hits you in that campy silliness of what it is. It's still crazy. It's not as gory. You know, I don't think I don't even know if it was it even rated R? I don't even remember if it was rated R. I'm going to have to check.
I feel like it would have to.
I don't know if it was. It probably was. Okay, it was. Okay, yeah, it was rated R. Okay. Well,
I feel like it would have to be with some of those jokes.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of those jokes in there that are a little gets graphic. But I love this movie. It's so fucking silly. It's so stupid. We noticed that there's 3 Necronomicons. This brings it pretty much in a circle. It brings it all the way around. And again, this is just Ash. This is the Ash that everybody loves. This is the Ash that everybody's for. This Ash goes into the television series. Like, everything about it is top tier, top notch, too funny. But that's the thing. I tell people all the time, if they've never seen Army of Darkness, it's stupid. It's so stupid. But you have to understand that. Like, don't watch 1, 2. We'll get into 2, but don't watch 2 and then come here and think you're going to get the same thing, because it is a little bit, but it's not. Like, it's going to get stupid. It's going to get silly. There's knights. Okay, we're in medieval times era. This is weird. But I love it. 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 Everything about it. I am locked in. I own the damn thing. I'm all for this movie. So my number 3 is Army of Darkness.
Beautiful.
So
well done.
What is your number 2?
My number 2 is Army of Darkness.
All right. Very good. Very good.
I mean, you pretty much said it all, but truly, it's my number 2 because of the slapstick comedy, because of what it is, because it's that campiness. It's the perfect blend of, like, this is horror based, but here's what horror comedy can be. This kind of like fed into my obsession of B-tier horror movies.
Okay.
Of like that sweet middle ground.
Sure.
Where this was just like, here's this throne that you can sit upon while you watch other B horror movies, but this one will always be king.
Sure.
I absolutely love that this is kind of where, like, and again, we'll get into Evil Dead 2, but like the boomstick truly became the boomstick.
This is the boomstick.
It wasn't just like, oh, here's a shotgun and a couple weapons. He landed in medieval times. This motherfucking time travel. Okay. He lands in medieval times, and his first question is, where's my boomstick?
Where's my boomstick?
It's not even a question of where am I? What is this place? It's I'm still fighting things. Where's my boomstick?
Mm-hmm.
And we get this beautiful masterpiece of him being able to work with others and knights to connect the boomstick to his arm.
Yes.
Like, we're getting Ash in so many facets that it's not just, oh, Ash is fighting for his life and his friends and his sister. We're getting, he's fighting to fight. He's now a warrior. Ash himself has become a knight in this movie. And the fact that it's just... You get the beautiful movie poster of him sitting there with his boomstick and this beautiful, gorgeous woman holding onto his leg.
Yeah.
I have that.
So heavy metal.
It's so fucking metal. It's so funny. And the fact that it's just supposed to be like, oh yeah, this is the sequel to Evil Dead. You're like, I see you took the source and you ran with it.
Yeah, easily.
And you still made it fucking great.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm not scared of anything in there at all. The fact that it's like, yeah, there's barely any creepy moments,
barely.
but it's so funny in that aspect that you're just like, this is gold. I have zero complaints about it because of what it is. And because going into it, you already know what it is.
Right.
I mean, at least I hope you do. But shout out to Spirit Halloween because I found, those door covers that you could just put over doors. I've got my Pennywise and I've got my Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness will always go on my bedroom door.
Nice.
Okay. It goes nowhere else in the house, just my room.
No,
it's
that's
beautiful.
your room door. That's fantastic. I really do love that movie, though. It's
so
just
fun.
So wild and crazy. And sometimes you
It's
really
like
need
riding a
good
roller
one.
coaster.
Yes.
Just when you
very,
think it's
very-
dipping, it's like, nope, you're going back up and another drop.
Yeah, a drop and a half with this movie. So wild, so crazy. And he does dress like a knight. Which is
Straight up, like
he
he's a
puts it
knight
on.
now, time
Yeah.
travel. And again, it gives us the 3 books. It kind of lays out more backstory and context for us for Deadites.
He's
So it's
in
like,
the
oh,
book
there's
too.
more. Yeah, there's
Ash
more
is in the
to it.
book.
There's a prophecy. Like,
Yeah, he's the
there's this
prophecy.
whole thing surrounding him. And then I love that after that, it directly translates into Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And I know we're not talking about shows so much, but it's just kind of like of course he's got this ego in the show because he's Ash. He's the knight the prophecy foretold. He has fought Deadites left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he should have an ego. He's God.
He's Hefe.
Yes. He's Hefe.
He's Hefe. Yeah,
So-
it's amazing.
It's like, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So my number 2 is Evil Dead 2013. And I remember when this trailer came out. And when I seen the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is not Evil Dead." And I was like, "This is not Evil Dead. This is not even close to being Evil Dead." But I'm going to see this shit. I loved this movie. This is Fede Alvarez, and he don't play. This guy gets it. In my opinion, he understood the assignment. He was like, I'm going to take this franchise and we're going to take it to a different route. And it's going to be, like you mentioned, horror. Fucking comedy. We're going to have some comedy. We'll have some lines, but we're changing it up a little bit. Sticking to the script, but we're going to up it a little bit. We're going to add some gore. We're going to throw out that gore. I mean, it fucking rains gore in the movie.
Eat that shit up.
Man, and I tell you, the scene like you mentioned with Olivia. Now, because that scene was shown in the trailer, and I knew at that moment that this is not only a must see, this was the see at that moment. I was like, I'm seeing this movie because in the trailer and even in the movie, of course, is so like you said, she eats the glass, but what she's also doing is she's cutting her face with the glass too, and you hear her cutting her face. You hear because she's slicing, she's jokering it. I don't know how I got these scars. Well, she's going to show you how she got these scars. And when Eric comes in, is that Eric? Yeah. Well, Eric is supposed to go check on her, and Eric comes in and he's like, Olivia, what are you doing? Like, you're okay? And she does the turn, and that's where you get like the Deadite eye, the new version of the Deadite eye. And it's just sliced open. You're like, oh my God. And this is like one of the first times I've ever seen a true red band trailer where you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And she just goes at him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. She jumps on him and she just starts stabbing away. She's just going for him. Man, and Jane Levy just nails it as Mia. She's the first one to turn. They do finally show that, you could be buried alive and you can come back normal. So there's the 3 ways of actually, saving the soul in a sense.
Killing them to bring the soul back.
To bring the soul back is you can bury them alive. You could light them on fire. And the other one was chopping them up. You have to chop them up. That's how you can bring the soul back. I guess it's bless the soul or whatever, so that the soul doesn't go to hell in that type of sense. But in order to truly bring them back, it would be the burial. They're still alive at that point.
I was going to say, do you know how shitty it would be if you were infected by a Deadite and we just lit you on fire and then we were able to bring you back, but you're just horribly charred
just
for the rest
fucking
of your
charred
life?
up.
But you're not a Deadite anymore.
No, well, that's good. At least at that point, you might as well have just killed me.
Yeah.
I just loved everything about this movie. And it's not, like I said, it's not theater hype at this point because I've watched it multiple times afterwards. When we watched it during the rewatch, like I'm like, dude, this movie hits. This movie is hardcore. This actually, if I'm not mistaken, did break the Shining because The Shining had the most blood in a movie. This movie broke it. And actually, funny enough, maybe Evil Dead Rise broke this because Evil Dead the 2013 had a lot of fucking blood in it. Again, it rains blood. The Abomination shows up at the end. I didn't really like that part. I thought it was kind of stupid. But they were trying. It was a different book. It was one of the 3 books. I think it's the second book. So
that's kind of that campiness side to me. Like for the Abomination,
still silly.
All right, it's a little,
even the name,
far-fetched, little silly, but with that
Abomination
flowers,
weird.
Yeah.
She comes out, but again, Mia gets the arm fucking by the elbow gets cut off because it's under a car. She gets the chainsaw. You're like, oh shit, here we go. Like she's gonna do it, and she says a badass line. And she shoves the chainsaw in her freaking mouth, and you're like, that's what I'm talking about. So I just really love this movie. And one of the best parts about this movie, besides just the movie in general, is the second after credit scene. The second after credit scene was, you had the scroll, and then it was dark, and then a light came on, and there's Bruce Campbell, and he looks at you hear him go, Groovy, and he looks at the camera. And it was at that moment, you were like, holy shit, he's coming back. Everybody's thinking it's a movie. Turns out it's a show. And everything was great from there. Everything was great from that moment on. Like you couldn't ask for anything better. This movie is absolutely amazing. I have so much fun with it. I believe that it was at this moment where, again, Fede Alvarez, I wish he would have did the other ones, but Fede Alvarez was like, we're going to turn this into a horror movie. He's got Sam Raimi. He's got Bruce Campbell, executive producing, but he's like, we're going to make it a horror movie. Yeah, we'll throw little jokes in it, but this is going to be a horror movie. But the one great thing also about this movie is that it tricks you. It makes you think that David, the brother, is the new Ash. He's even dressed like Ash. He's got the same colors on. He looks just like him. He's technically the final guy until he brings his sister back. Then you're like, oh, Mia's actually the freaking... I love that. I had no issues with that whatsoever because I thought going in,
it's
like,
a perfect
that's a
parallel.
It is.
It's a perfect parallel because it's a misdirection of you going like, oh, okay, we're getting the same story, but we're not getting the same story.
We're not getting the same story.
And it shows you that from the very beginning that you are not getting the same story.
Yeah.
It has some very, very similar parallels. That is a Venn diagram, but that Venn diagram is not a
beginning
circle.
of the movie, Fede Alvarez knew how to do this. He was like, okay, you come to this movie, you're like, oh, it's another Ash movie, this is another Evil Dead movie. The movie starts where they got the girl tied to the pole in the basement, and the father's talking to her, and they're like spraying, trying to get the demon out, and then she's like, Dad, why are you doing this to me? And
Please, Daddy, don't hurt me.
Where's Mom?
Why are you doing
Why
this?
are you doing this? Where's Mom? You killed your mother. What are you talking, Dad? Please no. And then I love this part because they light they put the kerosene, the gasoline and whatnot on her. He is about to light it and he gets ready to light it. And she goes, Dad, please no. I'll eat your soul. I was like in the theater going, oh, this is no fucking joke. And then he lights it. And then she turns into the new version of a Deadite. Yeah. And, oh, eat your fucking soul. And you were like, yes, we are in, and here we go.
It's beautiful.
That's how we start.
Yeah.
That's how the movie starts. And he lights the bitch on fire. He lights her ass. He goes, I'm doing this for you, baby. I love you. Bang. And she goes up in fucking flames. And then bang, evil and loud too. Evil Dead. And like you said, the tree rape scene. Ouch.
It's brutal, dude.
Oof, that just makes you uncomfortable. But damn, was it shot amazing. And again, Jane Levy just nailing it. She nailed it.
I do love that you mentioned the opening title cards because they are loud. They're all loud. It's not an Evil Dead movie if it's not a loud ass title card after a fucking banger of an opener.
Exactly.
So I remember watching that in theaters and going like, oh yeah.
It's a jump scare.
Yeah, it is.
It's
meant to catch you off guard from the very beginning.
Well, I would say the only one that's truly gotten me, I guess, opening credit, like actual title card, was Insidious, because that shit was loud.
That was just uncomfortable loud.
Yeah, I hated James Wan at that moment. Like, there was many, I have many reasons why I hate James Wan, but like, And we're not going to talk about the real reason why.
That's a separate episode.
It's a totally different discussion. Why I hate James Wan. But yeah, the opening title card to Insidious is just a fucking loud sound and the screeching, and it's very effective. It's a jump scare, but Evil Dead did the exact same thing,
but better.
I don't know. I didn't jump as loud as I jumped on that fucking Insidious one.
See, I didn't jump at Insidious title card because it was scary, just because it was
loud,
uncomfortable.
No, it's just loud.
For Evil Dead, I jumped because I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Hey, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, and we've spoken about this many times, just a loud sound is a jump scare, but that's not an effective jump scare. It's just loud. If you were watching a movie, I came behind you and clapped my hands together, you're going to jump. It's a loud sound. So it's
a
whoa.
Cheap jump scare. Yes.
Yeah, it's cheap. But again, sometimes you get the effective jump scares and they work really well. So obviously we both agree what number one is. We both have number one, which
we've been following pretty well. We're
literally
not
interchangeable.
The same, but we're definitely got some points.
We're interchangeable with pretty much every single movie here, but we both agree that Evil Dead 2 is number one.
Hands down.
Tell me a little bit about Evil Dead 2 and why is it your number one?
It starts out seeming so serious and ends with camp that it's the perfect segue movie. It's the perfect, and it's all self-contained, where it's, you've got Ash and his friends and things are just getting chaotic. Things are getting kind of creepy. And of course, we've still got that 80s makeup that is just still sort of campy, but it's played off in such a way that this is supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be unnerving. But the longer the movie goes on, the more you're like, oh, this is kind of funny. I'm starting to laugh at it. The fact that Ash at one point is fighting his own hand. It's just one of those moments where you're
him in the eye, hits him in the balls.
Yeah, this is the turning point where it's this movie turned into exactly what it needed to be for the rest of the franchise. The fact that it was supposed to be a super serious thing with The Evil Dead and it turned into just Evil Dead 2 for it to just kind of rework itself, that rework was done so well that, again, it's not so overly campy that you're like, this is unwatchable. It's not so... It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
As much as it's serious in the beginning, it's a slow divulgence into just camp crazy.
Yes.
And I love that so much. The fact that you can watch it and it is the quintessential Evil Dead movie of quips and one-liners and jokes while also trying to be here's this badass, trying to fight for his life and fight for his friends and his family, and it's just not working at all.
Yeah, nothing works.
Can't find any solution. You think there's no reasonable way this movie can end. And it does perfectly into Army of Darkness.
It does perfectly into Army of Darkness.
It is the perfect segue.
This movie's wild. This movie is absolutely insane.
Crazy.
This movie is so good. They had to change the story a bit because he does. And the movie starts with him telling the story of what actually happened, and what the fuck. I mean, we immediately get Dead-Eyed Ash because how The Evil Dead ended was that the Catharian. I believe it's Catharian if I'm saying it properly. The Kandarian, there you go. The Kandarian demon is what goes inside of him, but then the sun comes out and it goes away. But we get to see it was perfect because you got to see the new version of the Deadite, the new makeup of the Deadite.
Yes.
And wow, nothing beats. I laugh my ass off when he's in the house and then everything starts laughing at him. And then he starts laughing because he's just losing his mind at that point.
Yeah. It's straight up something out of an asylum scene.
Yeah.
That somebody be like, oh yeah, and then we took him to the loony bin. But it doesn't do that because he can't. Nobody knows he's there.
Yeah, nobody knows he's there.
But just the fact that he's laughing with inanimate objects, he can just hear the walls talking.
Oh my God. And it all starts because he sits down on the chair and the chair breaks. And then the deer head turns, and then the books start laughing. And then the lamp is laughing. And then he gets up and he looks around. He's just like, I love that part when he looks at the camera and he goes, ah, ha, ha. And then he looks at the lamp and he does the up and down with the lamp. They're doing it together.
The true descent into madness.
That is straight up descent into madness of wow. But it's so fucking funny. Like, it's so fucking great. We get Henrietta in this one. Like, you know, that's where Swallow Your Soul. And she shows up. Oh my God. When
even in the shed.
Yes,
like,
the shed is great too.
Bro. The fact that she's in there and the hand is just like sitting on top of her head at one point.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This movie is just wild. But it's so good. Like, there's nothing. I have watched this movie more than all of them. I could just watch this movie and just sit down and just enjoy everything of it. I don't have anything wrong with it. I don't give, like, there's nothing you could say. They'd be like, well, go fuck yourself. This movie's stupid. This movie's awesome. It's so retarded. I'm using that word too, because that's what it is. It's crazy. It's silly, but oh my God, I love everything about Evil Dead 2. It is the top of the top. And right now, I don't think anything's touching it. We never know what can happen, but right now, there's no way. Everything.
Even if something tried to touch it, you cannot have the entire franchise without Evil Dead 2.
No, you can't.
Like, even 2013 and Evil Dead Rise and Evil Dead Burn, you can't have those without Evil Dead 2. You could try.
It's not going to work.
Try to make something different.
You could
it's
try.
It's not going to be an Evil Dead movie.
No, it'd be Resident Evil.
It
or
would
just
be
another
Resident
zombie type of movie.
Yeah.
Night of the Demons.
Demon Knight.
Wow, that's just an amazing movie. But
another
similar.
Movie. But
Similar, yes.
Essentially just it would be a different franchise.
Yeah. 1,000%. And that's I mean, oh my God. I just love it so much. I've told so many people how great it is.
I would say 100%. I'm just going to touch on this a little bit because it's now at the forefront of my brain. Evil Dead the Musical.
Okay.
Completely based off of Evil Dead 2.
Oh my God, that's great.
Like, it's not a one-to-one. Imagine it as, a different story of Ash. Imagine if somebody saw Ash, like, in the Evil Dead universe, saw him and said, ooh, let's make a musical about this beautiful hero. Okay?
Okay.
So Evil Dead the Musical completely, we wouldn't even have it without Evil Dead 2. And I love this musical so much, Tommy. So much that I've seen it twice.
That's wild.
I still not have been able to be in the splash zone. And yes, you heard that correct. This is the only musical I know with a splash zone.
That's awesome.
Because it's Evil Dead, and without blood in Evil Dead, it's not Evil Dead.
Right.
That we see from Evil Dead 2. There's gore. There has to be.
Yeah.
So, buy a poncho. I'm going to take you to see Evil Dead the Musical.
I'm excited.
They have a song called My Boyfriend Was Eaten by Kandarian Demons.
Yeah. Is there really a song like that?
It's the whole movie. The whole musical based off the campiness and the wonderfulness of Evil Dead 2.
That's fantastic. Yes. I'm very excited to go and see that because I think I would have just a phenomenal time watching this.
It's fantastic.
So
but again, we wouldn't have it without Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It literally sparks everything, so you can't outrule it. It's impossible.
And I mean, in the long run, without Evil Dead 2 and without Army of Darkness, we would have never gotten Ash versus Evil Dead, which was on Starz, lasted 3 seasons, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And honestly, it's well-deserved.
Because Ash is a freaking hero.
Oh my God. I'm rewatching it right now. And I am just invested in how much I love everybody in this show is great. Like, there's not one person that's just slacking. Everyone's great. Bruce Campbell is phenomenal. The girl that plays Kelly, Dana DiLorenzo, she's great. Ray Santiago is phenomenal as what's his face? Wow, I'm blanking on his name now, and I've just recently watched an episode. Pablo, sorry.
You make me want to go back and rewatch it.
Oh my God, I love it so. I own it. I love it so much. And nothing beats Lucy Lawless is in this. Xena, the warrior princess, is in this. And we're watching it. Jen's watching it with me. And, Lucy Lawless shows up and she's looking. She goes, why does she look familiar? And I'm like, seriously? I'm like, you don't know who that is?
She's a badass.
And she goes, yeah, but she looks like, I'm like, Jen, I'm like, that's Xena. And she goes, oh my God. She's like, that's the one. I'm like, yes. I'm like, and she's a badass. And she's one of the dark ones.
Yeah.
God, she's great. We see her boobies and we see her booty too. We do. We see them in the TV show.
A gift to all of us, truly.
I agree. And I love the way that they do this with the Deadites. They stuck to that original way of the Deadites, at least in Evil Dead 2. We get introduced to some more demons. The book plays a big factor in it. Wild things happen. We get a little more backstory. We find out about, Ashy Slashy. It is such a phenomenal television show. It sucks that it ended only on, 3 seasons, only 30 episodes. But, supposedly the viewership wasn't as high. This is not a show and this is not really a franchise for just anybody. But I think they made a mistake and they should have kept it going a little bit longer. But in a long run, a story does have to come to a conclusion because eventually it just gets boring and it just gets repetitive. So
I feel like it knew what it had.
Yeah.
So if it kept going, it would have suffered the same fate as most TV shows.
Yes. And Bruce Campbell did say after this was done, he was officially retired from portraying Ash. He was completely done. But it did come out that unfortunately he does have cancer.
Yes.
That came out this year. And the current development of future wise, they're talking about possibly doing an animated revival of Ash versus Evil Dead, because Bruce Campbell, though he said he, won't portray the character that way, he has no problem voicing the character. So
right.
That's great. I would love to see if that actually comes to head. We don't know if that's actually going to happen, but in due time, maybe we will see. Of course, Evil Dead Burn is out right now. I've seen it. You have not seen it. You will be going to see it, and then we're going to do a review on it. And then in 2028 will be Evil Dead Wrath, which is a prequel to The Evil Dead. So
I'm very interested in how that's going to play out.
Me too. But you know what? We'll talk about it because you got to see Evil Dead Burn first.
Yes.
Because that's what we got to talk about first. We got to talk about that. Very important. But we also we have to mention it because without the short film Within the Woods, which came out, funny enough, in 1979, was directed by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell was starring in it. Without that, it's like a good 30-minute movie. I think it's on YouTube, actually, that could be watched. But in the long run, we would not have The Evil Dead and we wouldn't have this franchise. This movie the movie Within the Woods was literally made to acquire funding to create The Evil Dead. So.
And, it's an interesting thing because we see a lot more of that today. To hear about it from the 1970s is crazy to me, where it's like, oh yeah, they did short films to promote larger movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see that here even just with Obsession. We'll touch on that later, but even just seeing how short films translate into large motion pictures. It's, to me, this day and age, that just happens. But to hear about that from the 1970s into the 1980s, it's that's so unique for me to hear about.
Sure.
Normally it stems from books or comics or an idea that somebody had or a short story. We see a lot of movies from short stories, but a short film translating to a major motion picture in the 70s is crazy to me. But I love that. I love that Evil Dead was essentially just a short film.
Yeah.
That they were just this is great. Give them a full movie.
Absolutely. And
that's perfect to me.
It got us to where we are today.
Right in my wheelhouse.
Right.
So I am going to go watch that short film because I have not.
Yeah, I have not seen it either, but I definitely plan to watch it. So at least I can say, yep, I've seen it. I heard that it's obviously because it's shot in 1979 and it's a really small budget film. It's not the greatest looking thing, but what do you expect?
Doesn't need to be.
We're just here to watch it. We're just here to put it on the checklist that we've seen it before. And it's part of Evil Dead, so it matters. But
we could mention it after we watch it, just, our thoughts on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Briefly, since it's only 30 minutes, just a quick little, it was good. No, it sucked.
We could do a quick little tidbit on it. on.
Yeah.
But that is the end. We have ranked our movies. We agreed on the number one being Evil Dead 2. And on the next episode that will be coming out, we will be reviewing Evil Dead Burn. So you will get the Creep Corner. You're going to get some glorious gore. You'll get yourself a therapy session, and somebody might make the list. Actually, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'll give you a little bit of spoilers. Somebody's definitely getting on that list.
Ooh.
I still got the book. So we'll be putting somebody on that list. But it is time to say goodbye. It is time to say sayonara. It's time to close the doors because the bell is about to ring. Sabrina, Florida's favorite creep, say goodbyes.
It's so much fun, and I cannot wait to watch Evil Dead Burn so I can tell you more about the musical and how great it is, because that's simply just an avenue for me to talk about it. But other than that, I'm excited for more things to go in the Creep Corner. Honestly, I've missed it a little bit, and just to know that there are some things in there that will make my skin crawl, I am lacking that, and I need more of that. So Evil Dead Burn, sometime this week, it's going to happen. And until then, shop smart, shop S-Mart.
Very good. Shop S-Mart. Absolutely. And thank you, Sabrina. I guarantee you there will be some new things coming and getting added to that corner. I got a couple therapy sessions I need to do for some people. And of course, again, some people's are going to make the list because we are also going to be talking Obsession that's coming out soon as well when we do that episode. But yeah, first we're going to be talking Evil Dead Burn on our next episode. And I believe the music man himself, Mr. Malave, the glorious one himself, should be joining us. Let's cross our fingers for that one. He always misses class. But we do need some glorious
gore.
gore.
Are back.
Before we go, I just wanted, Sabrina, since you're going to be seeing the movie this week, just to let you know, just think to yourself, the T-1000 from Terminator 2 and the smoking guy from Beetlejuice. Just remember those. Remember those two characters, and we'll talk about that. My name is Tommy James, a.k.a. Mr. So Smooth. They give me the smooth effect himself. I am the movie guy, baby. Your favorite movie therapist. We will see you next week. Peace.